What are martial arts? Where can they be found? Are they, as portrayed in novels and movies, full of blood, fire, and blazing hatred and vengeance? Most people might have pictured in their minds invincible martial arts masters, dwelling in secluded mountains and practicing mysterious kung fu skills. Once they strike, the sky and earth shudder. Is it all simply romantic fantasy? In this digital, big data-oriented era, everything seems transparent. Do the martial arts masters of legend exist in the modern age? Where? And what are their secrets? It seems impossible to meet such a figure. But the crew do hear of a folk martial arts practitioner, one who has lived through the ups and downs of martial arts over the past 40 years. He is unwilling to meet, however, saying that he has long withdrawn from the scene. After repeated requests and being reassured of the crew's good intentions, he finally agrees to meet by the bank of the Grand Canal in the Beijing district of Tongzhou. Zhang Yonchuan practiced martial arts from a young age. In the 1980s, he edited martial arts magazines and took part in the national exploration and systemization of martial arts in Hubei province. As the internet took off, he set up websites on martial arts. He has a deep understanding of traditional Chinese martial arts and its practitioners.
在我们平常这个老百姓的眼中，练传统武术就都觉得像练神功的，他是不是这样一个情况？
这么多年接触武术圈、接触武术人，见没见过绝世高手？很多人私下里问过我这类的话题，因为他们很好奇。
我也很好奇。
但是坦率的讲，实事求是的讲，我所接触的每一位武术人，都是平平凡凡的普通人。
普通人，
对，
没有大侠那种。
对，这个大家这个误区实际上是长期以来被这个武侠，电影影视作品给误导了。武术它本身来源于生活，那么武术人也同样说大隐于世，就在民间。有些呢本身就是武术的传承人，家族传承，
家传的。
有些人呢是出于主观的，就自己喜欢，出于健身也好不同的目的接触。还有一些呢可能就阴差阳错，机缘巧合步入这个圈子。他们已经淡出了主流媒体和现在的主流的这个。
Under Zhang Yonchuan's direction, the crew began a search in Beijing, with its population in excess of 20 million. The search criteria are as follows. First, the martial arts skill or instrument must have been in existence for a century or more, and can be clearly traced back to its origins. Second, it must be applicable in actual battles. In Beijing, our search begins with Baji Chuan, or Eight Extremities Fist, a martial art famous for its power in combat.
你好，您是冯导吗？
是。
刘宝龙。
哟，刘师傅，你好。
来，上车来。
好。
48-year-old Liu Baolong is from Hebei province. He is the inheritor of Meng Tuan, Ba Qi Chuan, a prominent lineage of the martial art originated in Tongzhou, Hebei province. He has lived in Beijing for over 20 years and used to be a technician at a small daily chemicals company. Last year, the company shut down. He now works as an e-hailing driver.
这现在拆迁呢嘛，这些个房都拆了。
以前这会儿都是什么地方？
以前这是个公寓，这是全是公寓房，
全是那种公寓房。
现在都拆了。
咱这会儿往哪儿走？
咱上我练功那小树林吧。
行。
一拆这人都全没了。以前跟我练的人多了，现在一拆人没地儿待了，这人就上哪儿去都有，全国各地就分散了都。回老家的回老家，上别地儿发展，这也没办法呀，
没办法
是吧？
Liu Baolong takes a day off his driving job to help the crew. He lives in a rented apartment in southeastern Beijing. The narrow alleys and messy wires look like Pigsty Alley from the movie Kung Fu Hustle, where hidden martial arts masters dwelled. It is hard to believe that it is just 10 kilometers from the sleek modern towers of Beijing's central business district.
来慢点，黄导。这个穿过这个沟，就是天天我活动练功的地儿了。有。
20 years ago, Liu Baolong, then new to Beijing, started learning Baji Chuan from Wang Shusim, the 7th generation inheritor of Meng Chuan Baji Chuan. After that, the spot became the haven for Liu's martial arts training.
大家好，来，我给各位介绍一下，这是呢那个黄导。大家好，来介绍一下。哎，这有陈哥，浙江的。哎，浙江的。啊，这个那个张兄弟，那个承德的。你们。罗浩，对，北京的。安徽的。安徽的，江兄。这是我兄弟，湖南的。
大家都来自五湖四。
Before the formal performance, Liu Baolong demonstrates the basics of Baji Chuan.
这么靠的话，需要这儿要有保护的东西。
您能给我展示一下吗？
可以，来，你看，
是吧？就这一块肌肉，
你看我一抱这个劲儿，它这儿就有了。
您放松，我看看，放松，哎，就没有了。
摸它没有，它是软的了。
然后一抱
这个劲儿，
哎，这有一条。
对，这
这我们明显就没有。
就跟那个。 就跟那个这个倒三角似的。
Among traditional martial arts schools, Baji Chuan is famous for its efficacy in a real fight. For over a century, many of Emperor's palace guards and figures in the military were its practitioners. The primary characteristic associated with Baji Chuan is its fierceness. But what Liu Baolong demonstrates is of a different style, which would seem to be at odds with this reputation.
这个东西只要练的那个东西对，它能出功夫，练好了绝对能防身。咱说上台那个跟现在这个散打搏击，咱不是专业的业余的，你要说跟那个没练过的，你有3两的你真不行。
这个东西，
哎，就这个，感觉
一看是吧？不好看，
非常低，
而且这个马步呢，它不是正马步，它是个拼马步。
就我觉得这有实战性吗？
哎呀，实战性应该是很好的。
那您给我演示一下，我看一下。
行。
小打野是吧？
对。如果你看我一上小弹，如果没弹，他抽走了不是？抽走了，如果你看抽走，如果这个没有这一下。 他撑我上面就这手抽也很容易就过来就来打我，一抽回去跟着我就上这儿，你看卡到他膝盖这个地儿，完了胳膊屈的，往这儿往前顶，完了往外撑他，你咵嚓，
哎呦呵，
是吧？你一拦我，他随着就可以变，
速度还特别快，
对，那肯定的，这个是抖膝，你看一抖，他只要重心一动，他上面就没跟了，你再一发，他肯定就出去。 他想抖，你看抖他走不了。我这儿抄了，哗一看，他想走他都走不了，只能躺地下。我这，你看，啪这一掌要切下来，或者拍后脑，这一下这人就完了。
这好多跟套路上演示的
那套路里边没有这个东西。你看他使挺好使，我使不见了就行。我功夫没到那儿。对。
以前我胆量挺小的。 看人打架，我腿都哆嗦。为什么我想练这个？你艺高人胆大嘛。咱不说行走江湖了，现在你就出外打工也好，做生意也好，难免会遇到点事儿，是吧？你练得有了功夫，你不打练，最起码他打你打不伤你啊。一个人又强身健体，又能防身自卫，那干嘛不练，是吧？我在这儿待20多年了，就是小时候领人家问去，没有不认识我的。 就这2年就走了好多，有的回家了，有的上别地儿了。这个地儿这房说不好几年呢，一拆也没准就跑哪儿去了。
The weekend brings time for a family reunion. His daughter, who works in insurance sales, has come home, and his wife, who works in a supermarket, has prepared a splendid meal. This is the highlight of the week for this migrant family in Beijing.
刚才就找起来，说你给我推一个。
行，我吃饱了，我们俩晚上吃哈，我水喝了。这个东西是爱好，是兴趣。这人一辈子，你要没点兴趣爱好，你活着你就光为了钱了。
Liu Baolong has taught Baji Chun to many people in recent years. His students came and left, and few can stick with it to the end. As the development of Beijing's suburbs continues, where this martial arts master will finally be able to settle remains an open question. The crew leave Beijing for Shijiazhuang, capital of Hebei province, the hometown of Zhao Yun, a famous general of the Three Kingdoms period in the 3rd century AD. The crew have repeatedly been told by experts that the spear was the most powerful and commonly used weapon in the ancient military. Are there still people who practice classical military spear skills?
好，我找一下王东。
哎，您好，您看他在那边是教室吗？
就那边是吧？
对，开的。
上面
哎，王主任是吧？
管的是王主任还是？
你好，你好。
The 48-year-old Wang Dong is chief physician of gastroenterology in the 4th Hospital of Hebei Medical University. He is preparing for an operation to remove a large tumor. The procedure is due to take about 4 hours. The crew will have to wait.
王主任，咱们这会儿是去哪儿？
这个私密空间，这个专属空间。
这么神秘啊！今天真挺厉害。
Early in the afternoon, the crew follow Wang Dong to the hospital's rooftop.
这是禁区啊，一般不让进。小心啊！
Taking off his white coat, Wang Dong, like a magician, produces a 3-meter-long spear. Wang Dong's spear skills are unadorned, straightforward, and neat.
感觉咋样？
这个一个疲劳换一个疲劳，一个兴奋换一个兴奋。机体对这个大枪啊，这剧烈体育动对这个全身的这个动员啊，我觉得是另一种动员。有时候这会儿这兴奋点转移到另一个，回头再工作的时候，你还能更好的投入进去。
In classical martial arts, the fist skills and weapon skills are inseparable, supplementing each other. After finishing his day's work, Wang Dong usually goes to a club for more training.
搏击是检验你所学的东西是否有效，是一个重要的尺子。 你必须在每一个工作里都要以搏击的精神去克服困难。病人的病情一环扣一环，你会觉得这个敌人很强大很强大，你必须去想这块铁板缝在哪儿，这个敌人的缺陷在哪儿，我想尽了办法去解决它，这样带来的一种喜悦感，带来一种成功感，给病人带来的一些个这个帮助，那是非常好的。
Combat training for Dr. Wang Dong is more than just a martial arts practice. Combat training has not died out in folk culture. Its practitioners, like Yang Minghua, come from every walk of life. Yang still does spear combat training in his home city of Xi'an. Xi'an is located on the site of the city that was China's imperial capital for the best part of 1,000 years. Anchoring one end of the Silk Road, it is an impressive city, and it has a long history of martial arts. The city's famous bell tower is where the crew find Yang Minghua.
你好，请问你是王导吧？
啊，对对对。
哎，你好，我是杨明华。
哎呦，
哎呀，久等你好。
是人民警察
啊。你这稍等我，
行，好吧。我要不在路边等你。
啊，你在路边等我，我在这儿把这儿前面刚才报事故有个堵点，我去疏通一下。
好，行，那这么着。哎，
好，再见。
Yang Minghua, 43 years old, is an officer of Xi'an's Lianhu District Traffic Police Station.
平常工作就在钟楼附近，这是我们的辖区。我在这儿参加工作已经有12年了。在地下通道里边有一个提示牌，你看提示牌，直接就上门了。
After his day's work, Yang Minghua takes off his uniform and takes the crew to see his master, Yang Bin.
这是我师傅杨斌。
杨斌老师啊，哎呦，你好，你好，你好。
走，那咱走，边走边聊啊，是不是？给你把饭吃了吗？
吃了吃了。
哎呀，谁给你做的？
让我老张给做的。
Yang Bin is the representative inheritor of the Shanxi Hongquan, meaning red fist, a national intangible cultural heritage, and Yang Minghua's uncle. Yang Bin is in his 80s and suffered a stroke 2 years ago. The martial arts club he has been running for years is on the verge of shutting down. Seeing his uncle's lifelong work in peril, Yang Minghua decides to take over running the club.
租到这儿也是因为这儿比较便宜一些。
一切从简，
一切从简，对。
Over the past few years, the club has relocated several times. Its activities have been severely limited. After its last location was demolished, it had to move to the suburbs. Due to this remote location, they've become the only tenant in the building for the time being, and everything is still to be finished.
叫你们叫师爷了没？
好。
啊。
哦。
对，坐这儿。
Although not able to teach martial arts in person, as long as his health permits, Yang Bin comes to watch the kids training at the club. Here, Yang Minghua prepares a special chair for his revered master.
我师傅很要强，一生除了爱武术、爱看孩子练武术，他没有别的爱好。我就给我师傅保证，在我这儿，你随时想来看，我得给你，让你一直保持着，或者说是在你有生之年， 你知道有一个地方有很多孩子们练着你的东西。我说我如果有能力，我就租房；我如果没有能力，那我就在广场上。在广场上，那我没有费用的，我也不需要收大家费用。
不要停车。
The class is over. The old master raises himself from the chair and gives young Minghua a few more skills with the spear.
对，来吧，先把它收起来。
Young Minghua has been devoted to learning Liuhe spear, also known as Six Harmony spear, since his youth. The core principles of this ancient weapon are block, snatch, and thrust. The real ancient battlefield left no opportunity for showy skills. The most practical skills were the simplest. Survival on the battlefield depended on strength, speed, and accuracy. As the era of cold weapons ended, the spear was abandoned by the military. In folk culture, few were willing to pick it up due to the arduous training and lack of spectacle. Many martial arts practitioners haven't even seen its real skills.
武术之所以为武术，就是因为包含有积极的意义。我们在保留传统文化的原汁原味的基础上，用实战的训练最大化的发挥它的特点。可能我们在发掘它，把它的积极性完全体现出来之前，我们能做的就是保留它的原汁原味。今儿晚上训练咋样？
可以，还好是。
有点乱，
我乱七八糟。
但是好多新娃们才来，平常练的时候都这有事我有事的，今天有天可以。这重的一点是，还有娃们学，没有多还有个少，
对，
也是还可以。走。
另外再几个学生好点。
With his master returning home, young Minghua gets assigned to a night patrol. The illuminated bell tower with the bustling city life all around makes it hard to credit that such traditional fighting skills still exist here today.
其实要说收获最大的就是性格上的，因为身体上呢，你可以通过很多种方式来达到这么一个良好的状态。我以前是一个很懦弱的一个人，锻炼了以后身体好了，首先第一个就是有自信，我有跟你平等对话的权利，我有让你好好跟我好好说话的这种能力。
In classical martial arts, there are long weapons like the staff and spear, and short weapons like the various types of sword. Again, following expert advice, the crew find a short weapon practitioner in Shichou of Anhui Province.
Liu
Duosen is a 36-year-old PE instructor at Xizhou University. He teaches basketball, volleyball, track and field, and so on. In his spare time, his real interest is in training with short weapons. He has set up an amateur training group.
短兵这个技术动作，其实就是中国古代兵刃，特别是以刀剑为主的这些技术的一个统称。器械的一种合作。
你看这个动作，其实机械里头也是这么，
对对，
咱们传统武术也是这么练的。
对，其实正常来讲，所有的格斗项目，它原则或者是说这个目标是一致的，我就要最快、最简洁的把你打倒。
对。
西洋剑的话，这击剑类的更多的是这种直线，一条直线。咱们这个就
可以迂回一下。
对对。
反正最终的结果是把对手打倒。
对对对。
就一定要真实对抗，才能有那种感觉。
In full-contact combat sports, it is easy to get injured in training, so protective equipment is essential. Liu Duosen demonstrates the skills for short weapons. Short weaponry is sometimes mistaken for Western fencing or Japanese kendo. In fact, it can be traced back to the sword fighting of ancient China. In 1928, it was officially listed in the National Martial Arts Competition. It combines the features of a variety of Chinese short weapons, making it distinct from Western fencing. Unlike many martial arts stunts, it is focused on attacking and defending, demanding dexterity, speed, and fast reactions.
武术之所以成为武术，实质它就是能够格斗，能搏杀。两个人面对面都拿着兵器，那怎样才能让对手打不着自己，自己打着对手？这并不是说单纯的靠你身体素质、靠蛮力的，它需要智慧的。天行健，君子以自强不息。咱们作为一个中国人，这是应该有的这个自强不息的一种精神。而武术短兵里边的这种相互之间对抗，必然会激发这种勇往直前、永不服输的这种精神。
After training, the combatants retreat to a restaurant for cool beer, kebabs, and hearty conversation. The company inspires vigor, youthful energy, and heroic ideals, while talk flows as freely as the beer. As the ancient martial arts move into folk practice, various schools developed. Xing Yi Chun, literally meaning shape will fist, is one such, famous for its efficacy in real fighting. One online video shows a Xing Yi Chun master defeating a Sanda fighter. At the moment, the belief in the efficacy of traditional martial arts is being questioned. The crew want to know more about that warrior.
刘老师，好，回头，你好，你好，你好，你好，你好。
It's hard to see this old man on an electric scooter as the victor in the ring who so quickly subdued his opponent. It's been a dozen years since. And does he still wield the same power?
那个小伙子比我小10几岁，跟我得比，得练呢。 反正确实来讲，哎，好，差距还挺大的。
那证明咱们这个传统武术还是有能打的。
对。
Yu Chunhai avers that Xing Yi Chun is derived from spear skills. Wu Xing Chun, also known as Five Elements Fist, where Xing Yi Chun developed from, is composed of thrusting, striking, parrying, charging and sweeping. the traces of ancient spear skills can be clearly detected.
气随心意随时用，直打直进无所拦。你看你对方来以后，你看就转圈嘛。当然，你看我起动老反，打这起来以后，你看我就打直接夹着，往家就打，是吧？夹着打，对吗？你来都来，你不直接把我来，你看这方打这些，你看这咋？你看打倒，是吧？我这直接这不是转圈吗？这是起动老反。你看了，你给我直打，你看打起来，你看这打。这打过来以后，你看你快来，你看走，是吧？这不别我来了，来好了，你看好了，你看这打，我打你过来，你看我摔一把拿红不都有吗？明白吗？摔拿打放行前做体型，还有个摔，你看我来走，你看好了，你看走，这直接就
非常难受，就是照样都被逮着啊。就摁着你就打，你根本防不了。
来，你看你倒，是吧？
Traditional Chinese martial arts emphasize on daily training, including in the hottest days of summer and the coldest in winter. Over the decades, Yu Chunhai has never skipped a day's training. He used to be a village electrician, and after retiring, he devoted himself heart and soul to martial arts. After training and soaked in sweat, he always showers, summer or winter, in cold water.
你别看我今年60多岁，我现在还永远不服老。没打过点滴，没输过液，我是非常相信练武术练的。
At midday, Yu Chunhai and his wife invite the crew for a meal in their home. The benefits martial arts have brought him are the subject for discussion.
人的这一生最大财富体格好，他体格好啊，儿女也是幸福。
起码让每个家庭增加负担。我的健康就是孩子们的幸福。
After the meal, Yu Chunhai takes the crew to a special place, a Haihe River branch near the village. It used to be a port connecting the sea and inland waterways. When he was young, he studied under his master, Zhang Guiliang, in the peach forest near the river.
这个地方啊，是那个原来啊，这条河来讲能跑小火轮。我小那前来讲啊，那小火轮带着那话，我来回跑小火轮。赶到李顺义呢，就是顺着小火轮那个从这上两岸，来到六合城受的拳。
Li Chunyi was a prominent figure during the Republic of China period. All his life, he was committed to building the physiques of his fellow countrymen and raising national spirits. He led the movement for martial arts training at the time.
我头一个教我的第一个动作，就是连环掌，我给练一下。好嘞，好，你看一看啊。
It has been a few decades since Yu Chunhai first stepped into the peach forest to begin learning from his master. The master has passed away, and Yu is in his 60s. The martial arts scene is not what it was, but Yu still hopes to pass on his martial arts skills to future generations. Now, like his predecessors, Yu Chunhai travels around China to teach martial arts. He is a visiting professor of Jilin Normal University. He greatly values this role.
我从一个普普通通的农民能够走进大学当中， 能传授给大学生们的，这使我特别开心。我也希望能多传授他们点东西，让他们真正懂得什么叫中国的传统武术，因为他们走的面积比较大呀，他遍布全国各地，而且他们都是老师们呐。我这些徒弟遍布全国的各个地方，他们这些东西没学到，那个东西没学，我得想方设法，得联系他们，让他们练。既然认师傅了、拜师了，咱都得尽到做师傅的义务、的责任，给他们教好了。
Yu Chuanhai believes that a master needs to both set a good example for students and give all he has without reservation. Before the Chinese New Year, he will go to Shenzhen to see his students there. From Master Li Junyi to the visiting professor Yu Chuanhai, despite all the changes in the world, the faith and spirit of martial arts have never disappeared. Traditional martial arts have been remolded after becoming part of popular folk culture. What does this mean to practitioners? With this question in mind, the cruise odyssey next takes them to Xianyang in Shanxi province.
This is 史书记，
史书记，
书记好。这个刚好来，听说您要主持婚礼，我们过来看一下。
今天正好这个是结婚礼。来坐这儿。好，来，这是产子人。
Xu Guanming, 66 years old, is the inheritor of Hong Quan.
今天您将为您的女儿掀开崭新辉煌的一页。
美酒佳肴，高朋满座。今天大家欢聚一堂，在这里共同见证一对新人的新婚庆典。作为这个证婚人，我特别高兴。
村上这个大小事都要管，村上这个老百姓这些红白喜事，组织干部积极参与帮忙。 群众的义务小事。
Xu Guanming has been practicing Hong Quan since he was young and is still an avid fan. In the 1990s, he sold the family tractor to raise the tuition fee for his studies at Wuhan Sports University in Hubei Province, where he majored in martial arts for 2 years.
红拳发源于在陕西，因为陕西人啊注重有红色，红是最好的意思，是高级的东西，所以这个拳名字叫红拳。这个拳头架子它是朴实无华，练起来舒展大方，这个动作具有极强的积极含义。
是吧？你说这都是话，
我去，
全是这是放一伸手看，双关看，这一单手双关看，给后关，给后关这来看，基层看，这大基层。
On graduating, Xu Guanming was hoping to teach martial arts back in his home village, but China's breakneck urbanization dictated otherwise. Most young people left their villages for better job opportunities in the cities.
现在的这个武术，它有意思讲，全民健身，增强体质，年龄大的人都在练太极，他就是从养生角度开始练。一些年轻学些积极方法，互相探讨，互相有些学些东西。
Now, only a few old friends are learning martial arts with him. They practice for exercise and for fun. Accelerating urbanization has seen the field in front of his house disappear. To make up for this, Xu Guanming has reclaimed a small patch next to the thoroughfare. For a former farmer, this tiny garden is far too small. Similarly, the realm for martial arts is getting narrower and more constricted every day. After dinner, before going to the village committee, Xu Guanming practices martial arts for a while. To the mournful ballads of Qinchuang opera, he fights imaginary opponents. He says it is the high point of his day.
我想发挥自己一点余热，能传承能带学生，尽量带学生。没有这个条件的话，起码把这些资料留到世上。
With the rapid changes in society, the social function of martial arts has also completely changed. Nowadays, it's commonly seen as aging, grassroots, and marginalized. Xu Guanming's problem may be a common one among those inheritors of traditional folk martial arts. Far from Xu Guanming, in the economically dynamic Guangdong province, a southern martial arts practitioner is trying to find a new way for traditional martial arts.
最近是比较忙的，因为跨境电商的公司、国际公司在香港开张。
Lu Yanming, 58 years old, is an inheritor of Wing Chun, a traditional fist style in southern China, as well as being chairman of a local listed company. Every day, he gets to the office 1 hour earlier than his employees to make time for his morning training. It's a long-standing routine.
因为现在越来越忙碌了，所以我要求我自己会更严格。早上上班坚持早练，不要为自己找借口，因为自己忙碌了就放弃了，才让我更有精力在事业上去应付现在所有的忙碌。我把武术的方式运用到商业上面去，我把带领武术的这种师徒之间的情分呢，换成为团队的凝聚力，变成团队精神。现在的企业很难找到像我企业这样的一种团队精神，大家都付出，不计较回报。
Lu Yanming works until evening and then demonstrates the other facet of his life.
这就是我的武馆啊！你看我的团队在这里训练，你看，我去换个衣服。
行
啊，
这都是您哪的人？
对，这是我公司的很多高管呐、职员呐，在这里。对，啊，你看在这里。好，广导来了啊！介绍一下，你看，这是我师傅，
哎，师傅
啊，也是我叔父，啊，对，你看这些是我香港公司的经理，对，你看这是珠宝的啊，
你好，
总经理，你看这是我们的经理，你看那边也是经理，你看这些都是，你看这是我们那个保安公司的总经理，啊。我们集团的董事、副总经理陈总，你看，他一脚几百斤的力量，你看，他的后摆腿是一绝啊！陈总搞个后摆腿给他看看啊！现代的城市人，每个人追逐的有另外一种生活方式。我们除了我们的事业，我们还有一种追求。这样才丰富我们的人生。白天他们都穿着西服，在那上班，你都不知道他们的另外一面。到晚上如果我不告诉你，你还不很难把这两者给联系在一起。
还真没看出来，
对不对？
对。
1、2、3。 下了班以后，业余时间我们会免费的让他到武馆里边去锻炼，我们会给他一些小小的奖励，鼓励他继续下去，让他们放下手机，健康的去过一天。他每个人都可以管理自己，这是很难的，所以这个我觉得能影响，他们也会改变。这些都是咏春的技法，你看，你看。
看来这些技术还是要经过这个实战。
那肯定了，你光练套路怎么行呢？因为这个是速度跟反应嘛。你看他打过来，你看。
Lu Yanming has a unique way of teaching. He integrates the essence of traditional martial arts and the principles and training methods of modern combat sports. Everything needs to be practical, standardized, and scientific.
我在武术当中坚持下来的一种精神，永不言败，永不放弃。因为当你面对艰苦的时候，主动的去接受辛苦的挑战。经过习武锻炼的人呢，他不找理由，他只是解决问题。你每天都还敢去坚持训练的话，你看看你已经成长。收获更多的是你跟他一起练的时候，因为他们是年轻人，他会给你很阳光、很朝气。我觉得我现在跟他们一样，也是那么年轻，所以我一上了拳台，我就会把自己的年龄给忘了，所以这就是一种心态。我觉得收获最健康的心态、最年轻的心态，那是无价的。
Mutual facilitation between business and martial arts has become the motto of Lu Yanming's company. Lu Yanming hopes that traditional martial arts will influence those around him. The crew's 3-year search has not to date found any legendary heroes or invincible masters. What they have found are ordinary people. They come from all walks of life, in cities, towns, and villages. The Martial Arts Fellowship is right there, hiding in plain sight, in a world without secrets.